Oh shit, I forgot to do the thing that I do at the beginning of the stream. If I can just open up Twitch so I can get to those controls. So I can eliminate pre-rolls for the first few, like, bits. Da 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 ba da ba ba. Your ass was not live. I always send it out early. You should know this by now. I send it out early so that people show up when I start, because people like it better when they show up and I've like just started instead of, I don't know. So fucking sad I missed the reveal. I'm sorry, Upleague. That sucks. I'm really sorry. It's not your fault. I know, but I know you were looking forward to it. Well, I didn't until now, because I didn't know that it was going to happen. Because I've never beaten this game. The reveal. It's my favorite case. That's true, yeah. Ba, 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 ba. Also, Teeps pointed out that there was a... Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Team Snowcone put out a 1 to 2 hour like little Ace Attorney side game called Echoes of a Turnabout, which stars Franziska von Karma and Maya, of course. Maya's also there. But judging by the characters that appear to be in it, I definitely would have to play it after the Apollo Justice games. Which is a shame, but you know, it's there. Just kind of cool. It's a demo. The full game comes out in 2025. Oh! You should watch the MLP Ace Attorney case someone made next. What is that? Oh, it's from the Moth Girl. Oh, is that... I was gonna say, is that Junie's? Like, that's not Juniper's one. Matara. I only know one Moth Girl. She's a roach. Oh, I see. I see. Whatever. Different bugs. She's like that fast roach from Pokemon. Shrimps is bugs. That is true. Hello, everybody. Welcome to fucking Ace Attorney, baby. So Kate is too. If I had my way, I would be a majority shrimp. The majority of my body weight would be shrimp, which is kind of like, you know, no longer bugs. Unshrimping. Unbugs. Let's get this fucking show on the road. It's trial time, baby. A little preview of Sunday's stream, I guess. Ugh, how did I get into this mess? Oh, you can finish today. That was the idea. That's far enough. You can't run forever, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Are we getting another one of these? What? What have I done wrong? I cannot allow you to go on like this. But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence. You are no longer worthy of your title. Get your Liebling to make you some, like, throat soother. Is it gonna be bad? Like, is there gonna be a fuckload of yelling? Actually, no, what am I talking about? It's the end of a case. Of course there's gonna be yelling. I've had this dream before, sometime long ago. As if this day was written into my destiny. Today, I'll stand in court as a lawyer. To prove a killer innocent. It's not as long as the rest? Huh. March 23rd, 9:43 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. It's not Rise from the Ashes or the last case of AA3. Well, it's definitely... It can't be Rise from the Ashes. That would be fucking crazy. I haven't played Ace Attorney 3. Fuck yes, baby. Hell fucking yes. Just reveling in this for a little bit. Okay. Hello, this is Phoenix, right? You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? Where does he get the bourbon? I really want to know where he gets the fucking the fucking bourbon. You gotta start AA3 immediately. That's just not happening. We're playing Fear is gonna be the Friday game after this one. And then we'll get back to Ace Attorney. But we're doing Halloween games. If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too. I wish I was here for Prey. But I was. Huh. I was not feeling well. Oh, that's too bad. Will there be more Prey? And I have powers now, so it won't be as slow. Ugh. Now listen up. You better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever. Maya. Phoenix. Phoenix! Mia! Maya, how's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia, what am I supposed to do? Well, like I said. Yeah, she's just bad at game. That's all that's slowing her down now. Hell yeah, baby! Also, the alien powers are actually fucked. I didn't know how strong they were. I've never used them before, but the all alien powers playthrough has opened my eyes to how fucked some of these powers are. For a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please. There's nothing left. Not here, not anywhere. Hawk Dwight defending on that thing. Ah, it's that accursed on guard again. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it. You're really mean, pal. Ugh, Gumshoe. I'm really, really sorry. Where are you? They let me join the investigation team, and we're chasing after the killer, pal. Just killing myself. Teams. What? Then you have some sort of lead? Sorry, but right now we got 0 leads on the guy. What the fuck? Why would you even call him? Well, we're not gonna give up. Gumshoe. Forced to read that. How many free run volumes do you have? I think we have 1 through 7, if I'm remembering correctly. Because we found 5, 6, and 7 all at the same time. Blame Kate's stream announcement. My stream announcement is just oh so spoopy. That's the go live notification. And the stream announcement before was just... it was just what's scary on Tumblr? I could have sworn it was just, you know... What's scarier than, what is it? What's scarier than, that thing? The Japanese legal system. 6 p.m. EST? Yeah. There's no mention of defending on that thing. I was scared. Her fear. Until the trial's over. Until the verdict is handed down. We're gonna do everything we can and find the killer. If we can get Maya out, then you can get on guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. I have to make the trial last longer? If you go at Mr. Edgeworth with everything you've got, then you two can draw it out. Oh, now I get it. I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. So, Believe in us. We're gonna give it all we got, just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Hey, Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance. Yeah! It's even stronger than a gun! Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it. March 23rd, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder. I don't know, Dick Killer doesn't shank people 47 times in the neck with friendship, Mia. Why would he need to do it 47 times? He strangled him once. It was very, very easy. That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Matt on guard, and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by using a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape. Then you're saying that she's guilty after all? I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I wish I could say shit like that to my boss. Yeah, I bet. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It looks like a shell? This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Yes, Juan Carita was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt on guard. What a surprising turn of events. Technically, you should be asleep. I didn't lay down till 2. The Teep Unsleeper. The Teep Awakener, even. I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time, so I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can. At least, until Maya's safe and sound. I wonder how the trial will turn out today. Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Oh, okay. I'm Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way. Yeah. Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Oh, sorry. Well, I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. I saw a production of A Christmas Carol with a Mr. Will Powers in it. Was he playing the Spirit of Christmas Present? Because I could see him playing that. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes. I didn't know that. But you know... Rice on the stove, hell yes, baby. Scrooge's dead business partner. Ah, I see. I don't think he could pull it off. No. I definitely see him as more of a Christmas present sort of guy. You know, the big jolly, like, the big jolly dude with all the presents. He looks like Santa. I could see that, because he's generally pretty big too. I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Engard's room. Okay. Sure. Visit to Matt's room. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. He did not look like this fake person. He was a real human man and also black. Well, I assumed we were talking about the same Will Powers. Because obviously, Will Powers in the video game is also a real actor. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first, I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony. And talking with the bellboy is no big deal, except that bellboy is obviously the assassin. If one assumes that the person Mr. On Guard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy, what are you implying? Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just gonna have to charge in head first, right? Visit to Matt's room. It's funny how he has a locked-in sprite that immediately transitions back into his wet, pathetic, normal one. Yeah. The defendant's room? Why'd you go in there? Well, I'm his mentor. Like a big brother, sort of, and I wanted to say congrats. What's wrong? Why did you stop? Mr. Wright! What is it? You're gonna try to trick me into a corner, aren't you? Huh? I know I'm just a poor, underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer! No one said you were, Mr. Powers. No, please, don't trick me! Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into the bad guy. Oh my god, he's genre aware. We have to stop him. My powers. Every time? Witness, I will personally talk to the defense at a later time. So for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony. Gumshoe is gonna put him down. Sorry. So you went to the defendant's room, and then... Hey, wait a minute. When and how did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here? Are you sure that was Matt on guard? Yeah, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the nickel samurai mask then. If that's the case, then he really can't be mistaken. And what was the defendant doing standing in front of his own room? Stealing popcorn from the ghost. That's so fucked up. At first? What do you mean by that? Well, he was in a bellboyish uniform and he had a bottle of juice on a tray. Sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me. Yeah, but I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. And why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Sorry, but I can't remember right now. Sorry. Fucking Jost, he sucks. Okay, well that's true, but it might not be, you know, like the Jost from Destiny. It might be a different one. Going to the store, I love you. Make sure your phone is nearby. Gotcha. It's right here. I got it. I'll put it on top of my Altoid so it's extra loud. Fuck them all. Oh my god. She has such hatred in her heart. Guardians as a whole kind of suck ass. Pearl meowing in the windows. Yeah, she does that. I told her to clean them, but I guess she's just meowing at them, which is probably going to achieve the same thing. I guess I'm going to have to wait patiently on this one. Just stinky. You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct? Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange? You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. And he's usually extremely selfish and never pays anyone anything, despite being very well paid. A tip? But that's a perfectly normal thing to do. So, how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think. For giving me something to do with Kate. Put the moves on her. Her undeniable tankiness always protecting me in Destiny was very, very noble. Bonking me? Evils? So, who are these guests you're talking about? You guys, of course. You and Maya and Little Pearl. I thought it would be really rude since I invited you guys if I disappeared on you. So I went back to my seat pretty soon after seeing Matt in the hallway. She meowed mournfully and walked over to an empty bowl to pantomime eating. I gave her a full can of food. Her fucking evils. This is like squeezing water from a stone. It's probably pointless to press further. Do you remember this incident? Did Mr. Powers leave his seat that night? I don't remember that happening at all. Maya was making such a racket in her hyper state. I ended up focusing on her. I see. In any case, from his story, he probably wasn't gone for very long. Quandry does chocolate impact pseudocide. Picture taken a hallway. Recording. Bear. Gave up when I'm back. I had guests with me. Couldn't make him wait for me. Applying free envy fragility and using grip space as the next move from W Corp Dawn. Yeah. She does so fucking much damage with rip space. It's unbelievable. Yeah, legal. Law. I'm a lawyer, in case you're wondering. Let's see. 94 with 1 coin remaining. Unimpressed. Usually for me, she does like something like over 200 damage. But that's usually when they're staggered by the first hit. Map of the Gatewater Hotel. Went by myself to Matt's room. Standing there in front of his room in the Nickel Samurai costume. Talking with someone, thought it was the bellboy. Watched the two of them for a while, gave up and went back. He had guests with me, couldn't wait for me. Well, I mean, Sinclair is actually broken. Like... What am I don't know what I'm actually supposed to present. Got the last end corp. Oh, okay. Yeah. I definitely don't have... I have very few of those. I think I only have Gripper, Faust, and Sinclair. Defendant doing... Talking with someone... It's strange about the tip-giving incident itself. Okay. Ah! Yeah, that's it. You really know your job. I only have good ones that you would want. Shut up. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he? Perhaps we should let the witness tell us. Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right? So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that? Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me. How much it was? But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket, and that was when I got a good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow it all. It sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask about. Unguard's tip. The defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips. Wouldn't you agree? Sure. But giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think. A little too much. Would you please clarify for the court about how much would you say the defendant gave to the bellboy? Matt is still living in the bubble economy. Well, he's hiring assassins, so he's really in there. Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. Will Powers wants old man Yowie. I don't know why this was brought up, frankly. I'm not sure where the dots connect on that one. And why is that? Because he gave the bellboy a really, really fat roll of cash, paying your assassin at the scene of the crime. Well, he was disguised as a bellboy. Nobody's gonna suspect nothing when I give him $6 million in cash. A roll of cash! Ah, well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it? A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Wait and see. There's nothing I can really object to here. I mean, who can argue that a fat roll of money isn't really odd? Tipping my bellboy $9 million in cash in the hallway? Yeah, of course. Everyone does this. So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it? Payment, Your Honor. Payment? You do not give a fuck about Maya, huh? What do you want me to object to? You want me to be like, well, I mean, it's pretty normal to give bellboys giant rolls of cash. That makes total sense. Like, I'm trying to save Maya, but I can't do that if the court finds me in contempt. Drag it out, whore. Fuck. Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Carita. Then the bellboy the witness saw, like what Gumshoe asked you to do. Look, I need to go at Edgeworth as hard as possible, right? I need to fucking find things to throw evidence at. There's nothing I could do about that. Yes, he was the assassin. I really like to imagine it's just like, you found him guilty. Maya died. Like, instead of the guilty verdict, it just says Maya is dead. Hold your horses now, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any proof of this, do you? Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? Yes. Multiple times. I have here the card Shelley the Killer left at the scene of the crime. This is new Edgeworth Kate. He's a straight shooter. His case is airtight. I mean, I know. Like, he's good at his job now that he's not, like, an asshole. I mean, I guess he is still an asshole, but, like, you know. Shelley the Killer? He is the person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley the Killer. Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers? He's the kind of asshole that's called... It's called an anti-hero. No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head and I think I just figured something out. Oh? Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night. What? Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Right away. The second time. This time, I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Carita's room. Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kinda out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin. I'm sure of it. I mean, See, that's what I'm gonna really press on. It's like, I'm sure he had to be the assassin. How could you possibly be sure of that? Thank you very much. That is all we need to know. That is all we need for now. Huh? But I'm not done. There's still more. Let us first establish the bellboy was truly Mr. Dick Killer. Then we shall see. Pin it on a Will, it'll be funny. I'm pinning it on Edgeworth. He did it somehow. He loves the Steel Samurai and would do anything to make the Nickel Samurai suffer for fucking taking his place. So the bellboy came out of the victim's room. And if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious. That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh. Ha 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 ha. This is no laughing matter. The second time. And what time was it? Well, I don't remember. The award ceremony ended around 8 p.m., right? And I went to Matt's room pretty soon after that, and then I came back. He doesn't even remember what time it was. And then I went to the bathroom. So I guess maybe it was around 8:10 p.m. by that time? You're not one for details, are you, Mr. Powers? Sorry. I thought I could maybe catch Matt and say my congrats. Are you sure it was the same bellboy? Yeah. And how could you tell? All the bellboys were the same uniform, after all. But, you see, well, he had those stitches in his face. So I'm sure, wet fucking cat of a person. So I'm sure it's the same guy that was talking with Matt. So which room did the bellboy come out of? Why are you throwing frogs into my mouth? Don't do that. The victim's room, huh? I've never even tried frogs before. Not that I would be totally opposed, but you know, I've never had them before. Yeah, the one with all the really pretty flowers and teddy bears. It was Juan's room, all right. Words cannot describe how screwed I am. Let's continue with the testimony, shall we? She's eating me, the YouTube viewer. So what exactly was so out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's gonna say next? Well, the bellboy was empty-handed. Empty-handed? That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart, and he wasn't holding a tray either. I bumped into something. Interesting. I don't know how that happened. My dice fell over. Well, I don't know, maybe you drop off the tray at the plate. I don't know. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you? I agree that it is a bit strange, Mr. Powers. But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide or? No, I'm pulling a fast one. There is nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy. But there really, really is. There really, really isn't. Sometimes people aren't holding anything. If you two are done being school children, bellboys are for room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed, ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth, are you gonna do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious? I see. Very well, this court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please. Yes, sir. Do they sleep in the laundry room too, Edgeworth? Rich boy. So you're saying that it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed? Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw that bellboy, he was holding a tray in his hand, and he just walks around with that forever. And there was a bottle of juice and a wine glass on it. Juice? What kind of juice was it? Was it tomato juice? The one that was found in Juan Carita's room that he definitely delivered there? And then left? After doing nothing else? I'm pretty sure it was tomato juice. If we could come up with some sort of reason as to why he would come out empty-handed, or some sort of proof, then I think we could dodge the bullet on this one for now. Proof, huh? Sounds like another job for the court record. Yes, I know! Fucking... obviously, you don't have to spell it out for me. The tomato juice. Right there. Mr. Powers. Yes? You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing that it must be true. But isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and... So, a baseball has stitches. Not a good point. Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? Phoenix, you could have just been like that. Just because someone has recently undergone surgery doesn't make them suspicious. Like, you didn't have to call him a baseball. Do you hate America, Mr. Powers? Or should I say Mr. Russian Powers? That's right. I'm pulling the Red Scare on your ass. Well, there's also... I mean, what about him being empty-handed? I would like to ask the court to please take a look here. This is the crime scene. There's a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Kurita's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. There's also a tray and the bottle on the table. And now, if you would look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here... Anyone can clearly see that it is a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Kurita's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left. But that would mean the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room. Maybe he's just very professional. But can you prove Mr. Kurita was already dead at that time? Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? I blame you for leading me down this route. I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Do you hate Jap America, Powers? Our lovely state fecture of San Fran, Tokyo. Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us? Is there? The bellboy was empty-handed. Or should I say empty-hand-ed. I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot. Huh? What? That bellboy. He was wearing gloves. And? Gloves? Yeah, pitch black leather ones. So they were, like, very, very good looking and probably went really well with his suit. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves. Why didn't you just mention them earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind. Oh, boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. I don't know, maybe he burned his hands. Maybe he's sensitive on his hands. Is that so much? Maybe he hates germs, you freaks. Maybe he has a mental illness. Thank you. There are plenty of reasons to wear awesome black leather gloves. Well, so what if he's gloves? I'll put gloves on right now. Am I a criminal now? So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. A lot of people wear gloves. Come on, Mr. Wright. The bellboy was wearing black leather ones. So, a football is made of leather. Why the sports? Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they're made of leather? Phoenix, stop with the sports. It's not relevant. Oh. But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant. Maybe Madden Guard is just an extremely generous and loving person. Maybe he had sex with Matt for money. Maybe he's just a prostitute. Maybe he went in there to give Juan Kurita a handy, which is why he wore the gloves. It's not that weird. And then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe that he was just another bellboy. Ugh. It seems that we have finally come to an understanding. Giving him the stranger. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest? Oh, yes. Please tell us more. Okay. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat. I'm sorry. Is presenting evidence to the contrary of what Edgeworth is saying not extending the trial? Is that not extending the trial? Is me being like, hey, that's totally normal and you're wrong, not extending the trial? Because I figure it would be. So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room? Yeah, I kind of saw all that by accident. Some accident? I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven. Nitpick everything, be as obnoxious as possible. That's what I'm doing. I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Because he went to go see Matt afterwards? Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Look, if I see something I can exploit, I'm gonna present evidence to the contrary. That's extending stuff. I'm not filibustering. I'm just telling them that they're stupid. Is that what you saw while you were busy spying? Stop putting me in the fish rotating slapping machine. I'll die. It's too scary. And it smells weird. No. Fuck. Shit. Excuse me? I may be a poor, underpaid action star, but even I wouldn't stoop to spying. Well, I think the point is, where did you watch all this from, Mr. Powers? Oh, from the door of the bathroom with my left eye in a sort of sneaky spy, like... I knew he was spying. Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly? Perish a loser, become ghost. I've done that fucking 5 times already. Become a Slimer specifically. No, I will not. All my ghosts are very cleanly. What did the bellboy do next? That's all I care to know. I said, hold it. Okay. I've watched you eat. That can't be true. What the fuck? Stinky cat. Why am I under attack right now? Where are my defenders? Okay. That's better. Ahem. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details. Oh, okay, she went to the store, remember? Fuck, you're right. Olive went to the store, it's open season. Oh god, no. Not the hammers. I should probably ask him only one question at a time. Why? He gave something to this person? Yeah. And what was this something? If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I? But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? I think it was something kind of small. This is an incredibly crucial piece of information. Please, try to remember what it was. I'll try. In the meantime, let's talk of another point, namely, what the bellboy did next. Oh, after he gave the person inside the room the thing? Ooh, it was small. Shut up, Will. I'm gonna ask him more questions. I said hold it. A .45 Magnum. So who took this something that the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. What do you mean? I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm? Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face. Yeah? I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm. He went from one room to the other, and that's all you know. Yes, it was just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important? Are the details of the testimony important, Judge? What the fuck do you think? Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see. I think it was... No... If you remember, please add it to your testimony. Yes, sir. Some sort of wooden statue. A statue? Yeah, it kind of looked like one, I guess. I saw the actual thing again, I'd probably remember, you know? Looks like for the trial to proceed, I'm gonna have to come up with whatever this statue thing is and show it to him. You're gonna have to trust your instinct on this one and take a chance, Phoenix. Well then, Mr. Powers, let's continue with your testimony. What did the bellboy do after that? A wooden statue, huh? Or just don't? I assume it's this figurine. Because that's really the only thing that's like a wooden statue. Where did this bellboy go after he left Mr. On Guard's room? This giant stuffed bear was the wooden figurine. He opened the door to Viola Hall, went in there, and who knows after that, right? I do. Did you see anything strange, suspicious, or just out of the ordinary at that time? Oh, yeah, I saw that one thing. What? He saw something else? There was this jittery alien with a ray gun. It was watching Juan's door like some sort of stalker. I think we can forget about the alien. No, Nick, press on the alien. It was definitely the alien that killed him. Well, Mr. Powers' testimony from now was just as vague as his first. It's a little troublesome, isn't it? But I'm sure if you press him enough, everything will become clearer. Although, that just makes it harder on us, doesn't it? It'll summon Old Bag, don't. Look, if there's anyone who can extend this trial, it's fucking Old Bag, okay? Do you want to save Maya or not? Talk about a lose-lose situation. Okay, I have to present the statue. Pork on a stove. Oh yeah, baby. We got fried rice and pork. Crazy. If it means talking to her again, she can die. Teeps would not talk to Old Bag to save Maya's life. That's so fucked up. What is your problem? What was the point of that pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up. It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is gonna happen once I show this. Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw... Was it this item? Oh, hey, that's it! That's the something! Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out! I recall we found this at Matt Unguard's mansion. At the defendant's house? What does this mean? It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the Killer assassinated Juan Carita in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then the bear being found at Mr. Unguard's mansion would mean... No way, we totally didn't do that. Why is Will's back sprite doing an omarashi pose? What is an omarashi pose? It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Matt on guard is Dick Killer's client. I'm sorry, do you think a killer can't break into somebody's house? You stupid bitch. Order! 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 I said order! Mr. Wright, this is a most unfortunate turn of events for you. Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured that bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would've. I almost forgot that he knew about it, too. I think it's clear that there's no need for us to continue this trial. What? I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please. Yes, Mr. Wright? There are still a few points left we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? The person who received the bear. I mean, I guess the bear itself. We don't know what it is. That wouldn't prove that it isn't Matt on guard, but, you know, it's less likely to get slapped down, I think. I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable. The bear, Mr. Wright? This was found at Matt on guard's mansion. However, Mr. on guard was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home. Oh. I think, Your Honor, has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It's not possible that it was Matt, Mr. on guard, who took this bear to his mansion. Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home. Whew. Disaster averted. Uh-oh. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at On Guard's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. That butler. All this time he was the killer. The killer and On Guard were working together, so to speak. And Dick Killer was hiding at On Guard Mansion as its butler. What a bold move. The bear figurine was brought back to On Guard Mansion by Dick Killer himself. But he handed it over to him at the hotel. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, On Guard had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quite quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all? I have to try. I have to find something else. Did novel biologists want to send me some fucking free viewers? Yep. Everybody's always just like, best viewers here. The best viewers are already here, and they're beating me with fish. What will you do now, Mr. Wright? Do you plan to... I plan to expose a clearly shaky place in Mr. Power's testimony. What? There's still another one? There is indeed, Your Honor, and it's quite a questionable point. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? The person who received the bear, probably? There was one thing in Mr. Power's testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. He gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure of... Ah! Nightbot killed someone? Yeah, they're always doing that. What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're gonna scream like that, at least give us a good reason why. Yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered. I remembered who took the bear. What? Really? I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm... It was the Nickel Samurai's arm. I swear it. You've gotta be kidding. Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Yeah, we knew anyone can wear that costume. We established that. Of course, I don't know how you wear that arm like that, because it really looks like it's just made of metal tubing. Maybe there's like a maybe it's like a puppeteering kind of thing. Like you control it, you keep your arm inside the costume, and then you like pull strings or something. But like, blame Andrews again. I mean, it was probably the dog at this point. Was there a dog? No, but I think there was one, and I think they probably were the one who received the bear. Order! Order! It looks like you've dug your own grave, yet again. How many times is that today? I've lost count. So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matt on guard is the Nickel Samurai. What are you talking about, Edgeworth? What, are you crazy? Anybody can wear that costume. Thanks to the defense, we've made all the clearer. I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt on guard. I see no reason for this trial to continue. Therefore, I will now hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth. Any last objections, Mr. Wright? Well, do I? What should I do? I'm raising an objection. I will now... There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number one, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two, that very same figurine was found at On Guard Mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person. Oh my god, am I gonna blame Powers? What are you saying? What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is Dick Hiller's real client. No? Okay, I guess that would make sense. The real client? Yes. Is this all you have? Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is Dick Hiller's real client and therefore the real murderer? I don't fucking know. It's probably Andrews again, frankly. It was Juan Correa. He did it. It was him. It was Juan fucking Correa. No, it was fucking Wendy Oldbag. It was her. I think it's Andrews again. I think we're going for Andrews. No, that didn't work. No, it did. Adrian Andrews? Yes. We already know that she tried to frame Matt on guard for the crime by wearing a spare Nickel Samurai costume. Then the Nickel Samurai's arm that I saw, that could have very well been Miss Andrews. But what about Mr. On Guard? If you would please recall yesterday's testimony, the defendant was taking a nap during the break period. That's right. Then, finding this figure at Mr. On Guard's mansion, it was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this? I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. What is with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell On Guard did it. That's true. I can't believe the defense would go so far as to pin the guilt on someone else. Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty, it's murder of all things. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this one fight I can't give up on. Order, order, order. All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor, for the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game. His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it was strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did especially bring that bear to on guard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews. And who would that be? It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself. This too is yaoi? I mean, obviously. I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time. Yes, Your Honor. March 23rd, 11:54 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. Advanced foreplay? Real? Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? Hey, the Aldi sweet and sour bottles do not have, like, a thin neck. So they just kind of dump out. That makes sense. But I never thought in your desperation you tried to pin the guilt onto Adrian. Ugh, I swear this demon will pay. Mr. Nick! Pearls? Where's Mia? I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away. A really strong power? Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is... It's from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Whew. That's good, pal. And what about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time! If we just had one, even just a single clue would be really helpful. Do I have to do this shit for you also? I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent! Huh? A tent? I could see a circus tent! Mia! It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now, but I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe, is there a circus in town right now? There's only one, pal. The very big circus. Maya's somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a second, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map, about a 300-foot radius from the main tent. Hurry! And? I could see a mailbox under the window just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay, what else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like I was in an old office building. Maybe the 3rd floor or so? I heard her. An old office building. Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there. Just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Mia, Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. It's been 3 whole days, and she's dying. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? There's a mailbox, Gumshoe? How does that help? Well, I mean, if you can see a mailbox outside the window, it's not attached to the circus. It's a separate building. Like, the circus could have a building 300 feet from the main tent, but it wouldn't have its own mailbox. So, it's a building with a mailbox that's 300 feet away from the circus, and the mailbox is pointing towards the circus. So, it also tells you which direction the front of the house is pointing. Nuh-uh. Okay. I'm sorry. That was my mistake. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. March 23rd, 12:05 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Court will now reconvene. Dick Hiller, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution called the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Me, the ultimate attorney and witness, I'd thrive in this world by just saying nuh-uh to everything. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You have seen it before? That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court as to this bear's secrets? All right. Why does she... Well, she knows it because she was in Juan Carita's room before. Like, they were, like, close together because she was trying to get close to him to learn about the suicide note. Obviously, since Adrian is the real kill. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. Its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. Can't press my testimony if I just go nuh-uh, or be like that one chick in Great Ace Attorney whose interjection is just shut up. So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it? Yes. Looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is a superb craftsmanship. Oh yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Looks like there really was something to that bear after all. The bear figurine. A puzzle? That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine with slices all over it. True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they'd never guessed that this was a puzzle. So, what kind of puzzle is this exactly? So, you can take it apart? And how would one go about doing that? The pork is okay, but I don't think the sauce did much. For the pork, you probably need to marinate it, if I had to guess. Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in. Oh, yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Oh, this is most interesting. Me too, honestly. A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Mom said not to do that because of all the salt. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then this was a present from you. That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it'd be perfect for Juan. So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland. I doubt there are that many people with the same bear in this country. But this looks like it could be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside. Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's been broken. I'm true enough. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone. As long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. On Guard didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm gonna get for now. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize, that there's one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there's only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box? Yeah, obviously. What's inside? That's right. That's what we are going to find out next. Witness? Yes? You are the only one who can open this. Please. There's a painful silence in the room. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. I've opened it. Exploding you with my brain. As if you could do that. My null brainwaves protect me from psychic attacks. Is this what you wanted? Oh my god, does it have the fucking suicide note in it? Ooh, what is that? It looks like a note. I don't think we need to guess at what this is. Do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note. More like your no brainwaves? Yeah, that was the joke. That was what I was joking about, yeah. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Carita's former manager, Celeste Impax. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Carita himself. It seems Celeste Impax had very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Order! Witness! Did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public, but I couldn't find it anywhere, because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything's going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What's written on the note? That's right. At least, that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it's only appropriate that the contents of this note be made known. Yeah, there you go. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it, and I was going to burn it for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of this note aloud. Very well. The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impax left to us a record of all that had happened to her. About being used and then thrown away by Engard, about being engaged to Carita and Engard's role in destroying that, and about how she decided, in her despair, to end it all. And that's all Miss Impax had to say. There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Engard. Then what... Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word. Matt Ungard values, above all else, his refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. It's Ungard's fault that woman killed herself, and this time he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that. How terrible. What a selfish person. Oh, Phoenix Radius Attorney? Yeah. I guess there's slimeball lawyers who are creeps, too. Hi. Heya. Hey, RMB Dreams. Welcome to Ace Attorney. There's no room for doubt here. Mr. DeKiller's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. It seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know. I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay. There are two deadly pieces of evidence, the figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of this situation through one of these. The gavel is already in the judge's hand. Phoenix, hurry! The suicide note or the figurine? Which one of these should I pursue? The figurine, I think. Because the suicide note entirely, like, fucks my client bigly. Please wait, Your Honor. Oh my god, they're so loud. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it? It's like he doesn't care that, like, he's trying to get a killer off the hook. The assassin took this with him from the crime scene after murdering Mr. Karina. At the request of his client, of course. So, what's your point, Mr. Wright? I don't think it's possible that Mr. DeKiller's client was Matt Ungard. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. You can't tell just by looking at it that this bear is really a jewelry box. The chances that Matt Ungard thought the note was inside this bear are 0 to none. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Where's the peanut gallery like this when Edgeworth is trying to execute an innocent? Yeah, they don't care. They don't give a shit. We gotta fist fight Edgeworth to extend this trial. Phoenix, quickly! Get into a homoerotic fight with Edgeworth in the middle of the courtroom. It'll buy you the time you need. Exactly, but I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. After all, there's no reason why Mr. Ungard would ever want a jewelry box like this. Order! 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 You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? It's a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying? What the? I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Mr. Ungard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And? The victim, Juan Carrito, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt Ungard. Fuck, the truth always wins for some reason. Order! Order! Ahem, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Edgeworth, if you could just slow down the truth a little bit. All I need is time, please. Talk slower or something. Fuck. You don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well, sort of. Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you're confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not that same one. Last night I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this. Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. Matt on guard's fingerprints were on there? Well, Phoenix, it looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. On Guard learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim and all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking? Mommy's gonna kill that guy? Shh, stop, don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so, nasty. Phoenix? Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're gonna do next yet? What I'm gonna do next? Does it running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case. Hang myself. Judge, could I borrow a rope? But, in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There's a piece of evidence that he really should investigate. Something he should investigate? I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? Alright, I think it's time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? What's this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? I mean, I gotta present it. I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright. Objection! Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting this go so easily. You're beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor, I swear. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? Yeah, that's the idea, Mia. You were giving me hints. So, you're telling me that I forgot something. You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. On guard's horrible misdeeds. With love, Celeste. Identify right eye victim's room. Radio waves and transmits the data. Was it the transmitter? I think it's the transmitter. Nope. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I believe some special examination is needed, but I think the item that should be examined is the defense's gray matter. What did we just get that hasn't been investigated? Incorrect, idiot. Mr. Wright, after this trial is over, I'd like to see you in my chambers. What? No. I think there are a few things we need to discuss. Yes, Your Honor. If you're gonna speak, at least use your brain to make up something intelligible. You want me to examine the suicide note that tells everybody about how terrible it is? It tells Avant-Garde's horrible misdeeds. What did, I mean... The With Love Celeste, I guess? Do we know that for sure? I mean, I guess we can't read it. That is Miss Impact's suicide note, right? Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside the bear, but this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means... the handwriting on the suicide note has yet to be analyzed. Oh, okay, it was the handwriting. Because he just said she had beautiful handwriting and she signed it beautifully. Which, like, I don't know how he would know she had beautiful handwriting. Maybe she sucked at writing. Oh. So, As to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impax or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed. Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be suggesting... Mr. Wright, are you saying the suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. On Guard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear? Ooh. Ugh. How dare you? Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There is no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Oh no, I made her glasses explode again. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt on guard. I did no such thing. Right, if you're going to pronounce the suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. We don't have the handwriting analyzed yet. The onus of evidence is on you, bitch. Mr. Edgeworth, you are the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. As it literally always does, technically. That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on the suicide note? It is as the defense has stated, the handwriting has yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where the verdict is impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is gonna carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day. She's not had food for what, like 3 days, maybe? People can survive that long without food. Maybe not Maya. If she doesn't have a burger an hour, she dies, I think. I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and the defense further investigate, or water, I'm assuming. See, yeah, that's a fair point. Handwriting analysis, my butt. That's just the lawyer trying to buy more time. On guard is guilty. Look, any idiot can tell you that. I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty! 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 Guilty, 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 guilty. Hell fucking yes, baby! Now's the time! What is that sound? It's Gumshoe. Hello? Gumshoe? What is with him? And what's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal. But the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm gonna keep looking for him, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't have any more. They're still saying guilty. They heard the cell phone ring and they're just like, they were still chanting guilty. And as a court of public opinion, he is obligated to accept that as the ruling. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that! Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? They're gonna lynch him in the public square. Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor. Shut the fuck up for a second. Throws the phone over to Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Please, you gotta buy us some more time. Court is in session. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. Please don't throw your phone at the other attorney. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but... His ass really hung up. Yeah, he heard the important stuff. I am reluctant to do this. However, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day. Oh, I really thought he was gonna jump in. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was like, surely he's gonna jump in. Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourned for today and then reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for. Please, Your Honor. Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day. You lied to me. Butler Faust does not do Sakuya shit. No, not Butler Faust. The maids. The maids do Sakuya shit. The butlers do, like, sinking, like, punching shit with cloths. Because they're two different factions, technically. Of course, the ones who are dressed as maids also all say butler, but it's like, if you're dressed as a maid, you do Sakuya shit. If you're dressed as a butler, you do punching shit. Right, well, what's going on with Maya's situation? Maid Ryoshu does Sakuya? Both do singing. I didn't realize that Maid Ishmael also did singing. But yeah, Maid Ryoshu does Sakuya the best. She fucking will kill, like, 3 enemies at the same time by just blitzing knives at them and getting, like, a million crits. Ishmael does Sakuya a ton. I think Maid Ryoshu is probably my current favorite Ryoshu, to be honest. I do really like poise as a mechanic, especially for Ryoshu. To kill her. It looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Report. Ah, is that Mr. Edgeworth? We don't have time. Just spit it out. Doing a tier 1 ego and it's over like 200 damage. Egos can be fucked. I know Gregor's is really good, yeah? Right. It looks like we just missed them, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident and has rushed to get away. A few things? Can we use any of them as evidence? Ho ho ho, I thought you'd ask, pal. I got the things he left with me right now, and I'm on my way over. Don't come over! Fucking go get Maya. As soon as you save Maya, we can fucking tell Matt to go fuck himself. If you just missed him, follow him. That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped this stuff and ran. What? Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to... I'm really sorry, sir, but I have to put the law on hold for now. Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this. With my Hunka Junk car, I'd say I'd be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. It's very funny that my sinking team is 1 priest, 2 maids, and a mariachi. Yeah. That's just kind of how the teams in Limbus, like, match up. And, you know, base Honglu. Alright, just get here in one piece. I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. Now I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red light. What the fuck? Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. I'm on a mission from God. He crashed his car, didn't he? Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me. No one can stop me. He crashed his fucking car. What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. Telling a prosecutor you're actively breaking the law is a choice. Telling Edgeworth, of all prosecutors, that you're actually breaking the law certainly is a choice. But I guess he's not a cop anymore, so Edgeworth can't dock his pay anymore. And you know Edgeworth's never gonna throw him in jail. Well, what was he thinking? We've gotta hurry and call for help. But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken, and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. He died. No, we can't let that happen. Well, if there's a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why, oh why, did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Because he was running every red light. Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? Well, he was coming back from the place, the office building near the circus, and he would be taking the most direct route, so we could definitely guess. That's right, there is a way. Hey, answer. What was the question? Oh, but you were replying to Upload. When you overclock an ego, is it still actually random targeting, or is it who you actually target? When you overclock an ego? Oh yeah, that is a mechanic, huh? Yeah, I've literally never used the overclocking an ego mechanic before, so I honestly can't tell you. I know if it's corrupted, it chooses targets on its own, but they're different for both places on the thing. I don't know what an overclocked ego even does, frankly. What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. Overclocking it manually does the corroded attack. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Since they have different properties. That's true. The corroded attacks are always stronger. I assume it would be random still, because otherwise there would be no downside to doing that unless it just costs more resources. Does Gumshoe have the transmitter? Or does Gumshoe have the... I used Ishmael's overclocked the Fiery Wings one. Oh yeah, Ardor Blossom or whatever. And almost a one-shot him. Yeah, Ardor Blossom Star is really fucking good. I think it's either the transmitter or the transceiver. Cause he might have Dick Killer's transceiver. So it might be this. Right, we're not in the middle of a mock trial here. I guess this won't work, huh? I guess it's up to me. Alright, I'll think of something on my end. Don't get your hopes up too high, but I'll try my best. You can also present profiles? I guess. What would help him? What would help us locate him? In terms of profiles? Francisca? I guess Francisca was oh, she was tracking him. I forgot about that. Did I say something wrong? Edgeworth, what is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty, but what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. That you found out like a month ago. Yeah, basically. It might be my turn to say, Defense Attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right? It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. And when nobody in this universe believes in a fair trial. Real. The verdict. Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, Bailiff. There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. I must call Francisca von Karma. And tell her she can whip me in the face if she just fucking finds Gumshoe. Last fair trial happened when Edgeworth's dad died because it was before the 3-day policy. That's true. March 23rd, 2:35 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Don't tell me the suicide note is actually fake. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of this handwriting analysis on Miss Impact's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. Son of a bitch! What the fuck? What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impacts herself. It is a fake. Order, order, order. Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impacts, then who wrote it? I wrote it as a prank. Sorry. Teeps, please, I beg of you. Stop making this trial more complicated. We would need more time to do more detailed analysis. However... I totally forgot the fucking Snake Knights. Yeah, the Snake Knights are kind of an interesting enemy. It appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Carita. Yeah, because he forged it in order to make On Guard look bad, even though those are things that did happen. You want me to save? Okay. Saved. Mr. Carita? Well, well. It looks like Miss Impacts never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about On Guard. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. On Guard could not have known that, and so the facts remain unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that On Guard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. We tried that shit like 20 minutes ago. I feel like we should just roll with Edgeworth. I feel like we should accept Edgeworth's shit at face simply because he is trying to extend the trial as much as we also are. So I'm gonna let him do what he does. It's no use. Something feels wrong, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Dumbass. Actually, there is something I would like to ask. I'm just trusting Edgeworth. Is that so wrong? Mr. Edgeworth, you had stated something earlier to the effect of the defendant had spied on Mr. Carita's private life. Is that so? That is wrong. Fuck him. Well, Phoenix is going, it's like has been for a while, I feel like, but like it's not relevant to the court case. I believe this would mean that he would have known about the note as well. That's it. Yes, and so naturally, this means Mr. On Guard would have known the note was a fake. I never would have guessed that failing would make the judge confident it doesn't let you lose. No, this game was their breakup arc, remember? I mean, it was, and then he came back and now they're buddies. Like, more than they were before. So I think the sexual tension is probably ramped up bigly. Nuh-uh. Okay. Order, order. See here, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? I was the one who thought of the spying thing. And? Jumping in and stealing my thunder like that is simply... It's because Phoenix jumped in and stole his thunder that I'm gonna get penalized. Fuck you, Phoenix. Yes. Sorry. I could have even bragged about the embarrassing Mr. Edgeworth to my grandchild had you not. For that, I assign you a penalty, Mr. Wright. What the fuck? What? If only I'd kept my mouth shut. It's because you picked the wrong fucking answer. Well, in universe, I am being penalized because Phoenix spoke out of turn, which makes it not my fault. It's because Phoenix is an asshole who has to talk over everybody else. So then the defendant knew this suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. He's a lawyer. Yeah, he shouldn't talk over the judge. That is how things work. The judge gets final say. That is how courtrooms work. A judge is a higher ranking lawyer than a normal defense attorney. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Engarde's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, hitting you with my depression maracas, hitting me with sinking does nothing. My sanity is already quite low. I mean, more accurately, my sanity is actually probably pretty high, frankly. Like, as a unit, my stats probably suck ass, but my sanity is definitely unshakable. I don't know if Phoenix Wright killed Galactus, so... Yeah, but that has nothing to do with his legal ability. Saying Galactus is guilty of murder is like saying that an ant is guilty of seeking sugar. Like, of course he's killed people. He eats planets. And he brags about eating planets. He killed him with lawyer magic, though. No, he summoned the judge and then had him convicted of murder. That's what his super is. If I'm remembering correctly. It's not as if Mr. Engarde monitored Mr. Kurita 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Engarde didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Engarde. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Oh, we're playing maybes now, bitch? Yeah, basically. Order, order, order. Mr. Edgeworth, it looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. As I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured, it came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove that Mr. Engarde's motive through the evidence... Bitch pussy is my rap alias. You can have it. Unless somebody already took it, in which case I'm sure they'll have some things to say to you. It's taken. Yeah, see, there you go. Then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? This isn't like him at all. Oh my god, now Edgeworth is gonna call the parrot. Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and all for all the question of who was it that hired Shelley DeKiller to commit murder? That's impossible. No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Is he just calling Matt to the stand? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. Who is this witness? It's... Is he gonna call DeKiller? Yes, go on. Who is it? The man himself. Mr. Shelley DeKiller. Oh, Mr. DeKiller. We don't have him. How are you gonna call him to the stand? Well, wait, Shelley DeKiller? You mean the killer? I mean, the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here, to the witness stand. Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this all right with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is all right to do this? Very well, then. The prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness, your name and your, occupation, please. It's a fucking transceiver. Priest Yisang literally hitting people with a book. Oh, fucking, if you want another good sinking unit, the Priest, Rajya is also really good. Pause the game. Why are we pausing the game? What? Why am I being demanded that I pause the game? Jeff the fucking killer. I have like 90 of her shards. Yeah, it's not quite enough, but you'll get there. I gotta go to the little Teeps room. We're talking to a murderer. It's a cross-examination. It'll take a while, Teeps. Just pee really fast. If you tell me it's a 3-star, I'm gonna beat you. Okay, I won't tell you it's a 3-star then. You'll never find out. Very good, sir. My name is Shelley the Killer, and I am a professional assassin. I say, what is going on here? Your Honor? How can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Why is it so humongous? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. You'll be deprived of my presence soon if you keep this up. As long as we do not trace the source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. I'm just saying, Rajya has good units, and I know you like her, so I was like, I know if you like sinking, she has a good sinking unit that's good in any team because she's a really good tank also. So this must be what the urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself. Yeah, basically. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelley the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. Is he gonna print one of the cards? I'm so hungry. Maya! Maya! A voice! Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley the Killer. It looks like we've run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness, there's one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream. Shelley the Killer. What is he gonna say? There's something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between the client and himself. And that is the reason I'm here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your clients? I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? Sorry. Go on. Well, it appears that this is one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright. That's only because you don't know about Maya's situation. The trust between you and your client? I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that's why you're testifying in this manner? This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the D-Killer name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did... yes? That person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough! Please, no more! Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of the prescribed role. They would be Shelley'd to killed. Yeah, exactly. Their role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. We understand, so please tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do. The egomaniacal. It's not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you. Somehow, that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all the extra fluff, just tell us the name already. Patience. Try to calm down a little. It's important they try to understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and closed, so you're gonna have to work to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know? Okay. The gentleman who spoke just now recites his home address perfectly. So what? You have to understand this before I tell you the name of my client. Okay, we understand. How do I just say that? I think you have to press everything. I did. Free run, get it. Hell yes. And then press that statement again. Like I already pressed everything. Trust between you and your client. Roles and duties. Oh. Okay, because he said that someone had broken it, so I had to go back and then press again. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience, who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think. Really. In that case... Not a conscience, just a code of ethics. Yeah, basically. Or even just a set of rules. I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness, what is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Carita? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. What? Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. The way that Demon Sisters said rules changed my brain chemistry when younger. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people seem to have really latched onto that. When you're an assassin in a normal people game, you can just do stuff like that. What? This can't be. On the phone earlier. What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. De Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. De Killer told him a different name. Matt on guard, perhaps. I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. The witness is telling a very serious lie. But you were the one who summoned this witness. You, Shelley De Killer. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt on guard, am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided this suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. De Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that means that Mr. Matt on guard is innocent. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? With the way this is going, on guard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And on guard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? Who would have believed the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley De Killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please, the testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews. The suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. De Killer himself has testified, and obviously an assassin wouldn't lie under oath. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Like, welcome to my twisted world, Mr. Lawyer, dude. Let me call room service and have them turn your world upside down. Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button donning the nickel samurai costume. But that's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impax was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted a revenge against the two who had hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead. No. Mr. Wright! You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth. Look, I'm just saying, if you don't tell the truth, not only does Andrews either go to jail forever or get the death penalty, we also set Matt free, and also Maya will never forgive us. So it's kind of stacking up. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? We request the trial to continue, dumbass. You kidding me? Phoenix. I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept a not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know. But Matt on guard is a killer. A murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than on guard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it's because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten on guard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him. Yes, you do. Yes, obviously, Phoenix, you do. Like, what are you talking about? Of course you trust him. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. DeKiller. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But... that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done. Kind of gay, honestly, but I get it. I was also gay for a prosecutor. True as fuck. I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. DeKiller. Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are, usually done. What is he talking about, usually done? But what shall we have him testify about now? Mr. DeKiller, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? He doesn't even have to fucking testify. He could truly just turn the radio off. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. He is having fun, fair enough. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Carrito was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. This is a most unexpected turn of events for the, 5th time now? However, this time everything has finally been revealed. Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? We still have the cross-examination to do. But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice here. Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies of the oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. That makes 2 of us. What is it, Mr. Wright? If I press him the wrong way, I might raise suspicions on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting a hit. Yes? How much is your fee? I see you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. No, I'm not thinking of hiring. Mr. Wright! Yes? You want to kill me! You want me dead, don't you? What? Why would you think something like that, Your Honor? Guilty! Mr. Phoenix Wright, you are hereby declared guilty! Witness, let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not? I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. Yeah. Well, a change in occupation might be good for you. However, I will say this. Even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party. That goes without saying, Mr. DeKiller. Assassins have no moral quandaries whatsoever. Killing someone is normal if you get paid for it. And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought they could run away from their guilt. Are you talking about the button and the knife? Yes, and my business card. This is your life under capitalism. Join the army today. Oh, this card. So that no one has to waste their time, including the police. This fucking makes me think of Happy Kaneko's Killer Life. What a fucking premise for a series. I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. You would try to make things easy? My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. If it is fortune you seek, then pray with all sincerity. He's pretty devoted to his work. But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. So you're saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing? That is correct. Usually, most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan your alibi too. No, I already told you, I have no intention of using your services. Ever. Why does he keep looking at me like I'm the one on trial here? From the very beginning? That is correct. From before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. So why do you think your client did that? What do you mean by why? Well, fiddling around at the scene of the crime is pretty risky. And why would someone who had requested a murder go to the crime scene anyway? That is true. I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. On Guard. If that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it? Sadly, that is not possible. Huh? My job is to kill, that is all, and leave my business card behind, naturally. The business card is so my clients may escape blame. To protect them is my duty. Even if they say it's for revenge, setting someone else up to take your fall. And that's all you have to testify? Yes, and I pray that I will never be called to the stand again. Again? As in you plan to continue? I must, as I have yet to find a person to take my place and become the 4th successor. Actually, how would you like a new life, Mr. Attorney? Excuse me? No, I'm fine. Really. Are you really now? I wonder what kind of man the judge thinks I am now. What are you gonna do now, Phoenix? All I can do now is expose the lies. That's true. However, you realize that would be very bad for our client, right? I'm so confused. But the one thing I know for sure is I can't let this trial end yet. From the very beginning, knew what the situation was. Already knew from the very beginning. Hallway right after the murder. Found an groups. I did the. Maya's kidnapper goes by the name of the Killer. These are definitely different people. Of course. One of them has a different backlight. Already knew from the very beginning that... Alibi for themselves. John Doe isn't radiating balls of murder aura. I mean, I guess that's true. From the very beginning, all of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. Is there a way I can prove that Andrews didn't know that he was dead? Because I know she poured the tomato juice. Then can't you present that? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't say anything about her not knowing. So I don't know if it would actually be accepted. I'm gonna save first. I'm getting low on being alive juice. Yeah, but you talked about it. We did. Like yesterday. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. De Killer. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that that Juan Carita had been murdered. But how do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. Oh, because she left her fingerprints. Because why would she leave her fingerprints if she knew that he was going to be dead and there was going to be a trial? The glass. Mr. De Killer's supposed client thought that Mr. Carita had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. Because she's smooth-brained like you. I respect it. But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind. I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what's your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you're mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Carita's death. If not, Then that can only mean that your Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I'm positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here, I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. Request taking? This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes. You didn't say what the bar was. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. One week ago? Are you sure? Yes, I am quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind. Please stop. In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. A specific date and time? Did you ask why on that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions. Your suspicions, huh? So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night? I'm sure it was all for the bear. The bear? My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan Carita's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me. You must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference, after all. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where the bear figurine was. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? It was very important. That testimony just now has made one thing clear, and that is... the client knew the secret of the bear figurine. Huh? Why is everyone so quiet? Mr. Wright, I think all of us already knew that. Oh, really? Witness, please continue with your testimony. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was the brief pause? Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while I'm looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? It was very important. Of course it was very important, Your Honor. If Mr. DeKiller had met his client before the murder, then it's unlikely he's mistaken. So you're saying that his client really was Adrian Andrews? I guess so. You see, it is just as I said. I'm so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax. Now then, would the witness please continue? So your client was Adrian Andrews. That is correct. Well, he says the two of them met, but if they did, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. Well, there doesn't seem to be anything strange this time around. You have to draw more information from him, but you can't draw his suspicion. If you can do that, you should be able to find a flaw in his testimony somewhere. Talk about a delicate balance. I'm gonna tell them that they're not important. A specific date and time. 1 week ago, quite sure. Preparations, keep that in mind. My client has time at a very specific date and time in mind. Did you ask why that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request, but as for why, I only had my suspicions. Suspicions, the bear. No. What the killer said sounds plausible, but in the end, it's just as a conjecture. No, Your Honor, I don't think it's very important. Well then, witness, please continue. Physically met Adrian Andrews. Press further on the brief pause. Looking them in the eye, not important. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I have already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. The killer is fucking he-himming Adrian Andrews. Oh, he doesn't know who Adrian is. He just knows her name, so he assumes that he's a dude. She's a dude. That's when I thought I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Yeah. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance. Huh? Really? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well. But as we know now, that was not how it turned out, correct? What do you mean? Adrian Andrews turned out to be a client who couldn't stick to the rules, right? Well, yes. You know how most ego skills are a single coin? Yeah? I suppose you are correct. So I would like to check one last time. Are you sure your testimony is accurate? Oh, you got the item that repeats single coin skills if it doesn't kill? Yeah, that thing is fucked. If you have rifle Otis, her like shoot skill that hits multiple enemies is also a single coin. So she can fucking slam enemies for huge attacks. It's sapping their sanity bigly. Oh, that's not great, actually. Yeah, I usually just bust out egos on, like, the final boss so I can destroy them, and if I have the double, it just makes it go faster. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at the bar and took the request at that time. Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy. Honglu's default skills are mostly single coins, so are Don's, actually. How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. And that's what makes her a terrible clasher. I'm sorry, but that's an impossible tale. What? Shelley the Killer? You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. But he has 2 man names. How could he not be a dude? Well, why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up about her. So what is the issue? What did you say just now? About her? If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she was a woman. Oh, fuck. The radio fully exploded. Order. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? This witness testified to the following. That he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request. But he's never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor. That is exactly the point. That means Mr. De Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. It's sweating oil. Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. De Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so, he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What's going on? Shelley De Killer! This court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. I know he's just gonna spit out more lies. Very well, but this time, please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. Yes, now I remember I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murderer of Juan Carita and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. So you took this job through a letter? He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he's definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. But didn't you just say that you always meet your clients? Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible. But didn't you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Oh, come now, let's stop with all this game of cat and mouse. Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me. Alright then just cough it up and confess. Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. De Killer met with his client? No. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof. I see. Then your line of questioning was just another waste of time. Sadly for us, Your Honor, that is the nature of right and wrong. I'm pressing all of the questions. I don't know what I have that he physically met the client. I guess we did have the thing that said that he handed it over to the client, but... and he handed in cash or whatever. We're trying to dash around the line here. What did you read out loud earlier tonight? So many things. A staggering number of things. And why could you not meet certain clients? Recently, I have been receiving more requests. If I met each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities. Nice business opportunities? On top of which, the times have changed. It's now the age of information and computers, correct? I'm gonna have some water. It's water time. Well, I have joined the times and now take requests via electronic mail. Electronic mail? Do you have to mail that in a special insulated envelope? Ah, I'm very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I meant by electronic mail is what is commonly referred to as email. Email? L plus ratio plus echoes of the manor. In a contest of mimicry, a judge would beat a parrot hands down. Ahem. Anyway, so you took this job without having met your client, and... two or three other things? Yes. And what were these other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? No. It'd be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. I'm gonna press it. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yeah? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client? That's... I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one... Wait. Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? No. The killer sounds like one sharp man. I should try to find a better way to do this without making him suspicious. Let's continue with the testimony. Witness, if you please. I wonder if you just instantly lose if you push at that point. Pussy. I don't want Maya to be killed for no reason. So you're saying that you never saw your client's face, not even once? I did once. It was when I went to give my client the figurine. Yes, I see. But Miss Andrews was wearing a mask at the time. A mask? The Nickel Samurai mask, I'm guessing. Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about this? Do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? She put on the costume after the killer was dead. And this was handed over immediately after the murder, I'm pretty sure. Which does not match up. I guess this was right after the murder, but it would have been... I don't know. I feel like I could press this. Like, I could prove that this is a contradiction, but nothing directly says anything that contradicts it specifically. Fuck it. Let's go for... Oh, shit. Wrong one. I hit load by accident. Fuck it. There is a contradiction. One thing does sort of stick out at me, Your Honor. Witness, I think you most definitely saw your client's face. Okay, well, that's not what I was going for. Let's recall... Oh, okay. Let's recall Mr. Power's testimony. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his Nickel Samurai costume. Matt gave the bellboy a tip. That's not when that happened. You received quite a large roll of cash from Mr. On Guard, and at the time, he was not wearing his Nickel Samurai mask. Oh! Oh my goodness. My god. Order, order. Yes, now that you mention it, I do remember that. Witness. Yes, that night I did wander the floors at Bellboy. I received plenty of tips that night for carrying juice to the various rooms. Is that so wrong? Huh? The man who gave me a tip was not my client. He was probably just a very generous person. I'm sorry, but sadly we are not nearly so generous here. If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? Edgeworth, I don't think you're in this for the money. Just to be honest, I think that's bullshit. Oh, the deja vu. And isn't his salary more than enough for one man? And where is your evidence that the large roll of cash was not, in fact, a tip? Come, Mr. Edgeworth, show me the money. What? Mr. Attorney. Yes? You know, I think your line of questioning has been a little strange. In fact, I would say you don't seem to believe Miss Andrews is my client. Oh, no, it's not like that at all. I just think lies aren't a good thing, you know? Oh, I know and agree. Lies are not a good thing at all. I think we're on the same page now, aren't we, Mr. Attorney? Remember, if I feel threatened in any way, I'm free to cut contact at any time. I'm sorry, please forgive my foolishness. If only you were this apologetic all the time. Anyway, I do not see a huge contradiction here. Therefore, you may continue, witness. We've pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Seems like we're still okay to me. And that's exactly what is so bad. At the rate we're going, we'll end up completely destroying the killer's lie. If we do that, you already know how serious a situation that'll put us in. Oh yeah. All I can do now is pray that those items reach us in time. You always meet your clients. Didn't meet your client this time. Silkiest voice. Have any proof that Mr. DeKiller met with his client? Oh, because he handed over the figurine. Yeah, he handed over the figurine. We've come this far, I have to try to prove something here. Very well, I will show you proof. Are you sure about this, Phoenix? Here's the proof that the witness met with his client who wished Mr. Kurita dead. So, what do you think? You may say, what do you think? However, I am, for all intents and purposes, a transceiver radio. Oh, that's right, you can't actually see the evidence. Well, I don't think this was one I needed to see. What do you mean? He handed over the bear to his client. That doesn't even prove who the client was. I just know he met them. I can hear the pure silence in the air there. Okay, sure, whatever. Dummy. What the? Like, that makes perfect sense. We've established that he did that and handed it over, and clearly we met the client. In any case, let's continue with the testimony. I'm gonna press it. I'm gonna go crazy on him. I'm gonna go full stupid. I'm gonna piss him off. Her ass did not pray with all sincerity. I have never prayed for anything except for fat tits, and I've achieved that, so I see no reason to pray any further. I'll betray anyone. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. You mean the one I presented as evidence earlier and you told me was bullshit for no reason? Pray for mine, you ungrateful wench. I could do that. I don't know who I would pray to, but I'm sure I could shoot something out into space. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this... He hadn't brought it up. Well, we already knew that he handed it over to his client because of Mr. Power's testimony. We talked about it in a different part of this specific testimony. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Krita's suitcase. And then, what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client. Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. I found this figurine at Mr. Ungard's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there? I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Ungard, I'm sure. That does make a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? Yop. So the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews. But I know somewhere in that statement there's a contradiction. And yet, I know that if I present something trivial here, he'll cut the connection on his end. And I'm going to make sure to save before it cuts off my ability to do that. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. She's right. So now what, Dr. Wright? Dr. Wright. Fuck it. Present evidence. Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine, and she told you to take the bear and wait for her at On Guard Mansion. Is that correct? Yes. Where are you going with this? Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly. What? This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it's possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. I mean, I guess the figurine was still the letter was still inside the figurine, so she never received it, because she would have just opened it and taken it. I assume? What impossible, the hollow inside. Only Krita and Andrews know how to open it. Miss Andrews was carrying it. I think it's probably the suicide note. Shelly de Killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside of it. This item? I see where you're going. Yup, that's where I'm going. Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was gonna burn it, for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Order! 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 So that's where you two are going. So by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Oh! We gotta stop buying this guy new radios. He keeps exploding them with his mind. Order! 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 Mr. Phoenix Wright? I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's not. That's enough. If that is your intention, then there's only one thing for me to do. Oh, wait, please! Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No, please. Not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand. Otherwise, I'm just saying, the killer, kind of a bad call. If you kill Maya, there is no reason for Phoenix to pretend that Matt is not guilty. And he already has you in the courtroom, and he has you, like, lying on record about Adrian being your client. You're kind of at an impasse here. Like, either you kill, like, if you kill Maya, he ends your career. Like, it's kind of this, like, you're kind of at an impasse. Phoenix is screaming. He's nwaying. What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there's a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should. Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... The prosecution... What has come over everyone? Even your... The prosecution rests. What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. What? Why? What the... What? No. What? Are you stupid? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley DeKiller's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Matt Ungard, would be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder. Miss Andrews would be charged with murder? The prosecution has no further questions, so we'll now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Miss Matt Ungard, to the stand. The items from DeKiller's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You've done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear that you are innocent. Ha! So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. Ungard? What an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap, it's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life? You better get Ungard a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is gonna end. It all hinges on what I choose. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. You never offered me those before, Judge. It's always just like, guilty. Fuck you. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt Ungard, is innocent. There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer's gonna say what I want. Aren't you? Right. I can't do this, but I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Ungard, he's fucking guilty as sin, bitch. Fuck you. We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Ungard, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. Matt Ungard is... Objection! There she is! Franziska von Karma? Wait, he is? Matt Ungard is Franziska von Karma? That's a twist I didn't expect. What are you doing here? Ow! If you generate an ego and don't use it, you can't cancel out of it. That is correct. Yeah, if you generate an ego and then proceed to the next turn without using it, you keep the ego, but you can't refund it anymore. You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces, do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this. What a filthy old coat this is. That's Gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. What the fuck is your problem? I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial. All for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat, what is your guys' problem? Are the defense's final pieces of evidence? Your final evidence? This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. What? The judge is like, actually, I've already decided, so, you guys can fuck your evidence. Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you are right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police. He must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that'll turn this whole situation around, like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That's all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? I'd like to know why she's bringing that. Does that pistol have any relation to this case? We have yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case. At least, with me. That's the pistol that he used to shoot you, isn't it? Oh, right, yeah, the bullet in her shoulder. Or at least was in her shoulder. That's what I believe, yes. Oh. I kept the bullet they removed from my shoulder as a sort of memento. I'm sure it will be an excellent sample for the test. So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Franziska. It's probably not going to help us very much. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. I bet the killer took that from Ungard Mansion. I mean, I would like to know more about it. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh, yeah. But I would speculate that the tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site, but didn't kill any of them. Kind of a shit killer. But somehow, it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. He's had a busy day. Yeah, he's probably tired. He's kind of old looking. Surely the killer is no ordinary man. The killer violently tried to recover it. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy uniform. He only kills his targets, actually. Yeah, he actually is. He's a pacifist when it's not about his targets. Was that used during the crime? I am almost certain that it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. 150 Faust shards, but there's no 2-star Faust to buy. I mean, really, I think it's not worth buying the 2-star units, frankly. I just saved to 400 so I can get egos or 3-star units that I want. There's no doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There's one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There's a button missing on this uniform. That takes so fucking long. Yeah, it does. A button? It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. Bellboy's uniform added to the court record. That is all I have to present, Your Honor. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure if we were under normal circumstances, this items from Shelley the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It is who is the client. Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now. Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix? I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far, you can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's... Try. For my sake. Just think about it for a second. I'm gonna say real quick because I feel like I'm about to die. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us. 2? The first... Make Engard wish for the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. But me, I love giving up. It's my favorite thing. It summons you every time. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Engard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way... Force the killer to end his contract with Engard. If the killer were no longer to think of his Engard as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible. He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. Yeah, but he also hates betrayal and the attempts to sabotage. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix. Gee, I wonder what piece of evidence would prove that. Think things through from the other side. Isn't that what's always worked out for us? The other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge We have seen all the pieces of evidence, and that's how we've come to know the truth. But there's one person who has yet to see them all, and that person does not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end. There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all just respectfully sit back and listen, kids? No. I have already told you, Mr. Wright. The court does not need any more evidence. I am not saying it's us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. I'm gonna save, just on off chance I don't know who this person is. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance. One chance? She's so dumb. Don't make fun me! That's impossible. To turn this situation around in one try... One try. That is all I will permit. I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. How am I supposed to remember stuff? Think, Phoenix. Think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking a guard down at the same time. I have to show Maya this evidence. Everyone make sure to bring Maya to this courtroom. Who would you like to show evidence to? We have to bring Maya to the courtroom to show her the evidence. If you get it wrong, I'm jumping on a plane with a hammer. I will accept this. Who needs to see the evidence? He's obviously already seen all of it, because he was there. I think she knows. I mean, I guess if... Did the killer see... No, I get... Does the killer know what kind of client he has? Like, if we showed him that he ruined this lady's life and drove her to suicide, would he be cool with it? Or would he, like, drop him as a client immediately? I actually have no fucking idea, frankly. It would be funny if I picked Maya and they were just like, we have to bring Maya to the courtroom, and they just magically get her. I would show it to the killer. Show him to the killer. I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. The suicide note. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Remember what Matt said when he revealed his true self? I don't fucking know. I don't have anything to say to this. How about you, Miss Von Karma? Alright, Tease and I will be taking a trip. Yay! Coming to hang out with me. Well, I was just shot, so... I'm afraid I cannot allow the defense to continue. What do you mean? That makes total sense. He would drop him as a client instantaneously if I showed him this. He would be so mad. He would be so mad. He would be peeved, even. No. What? No one understands what you're talking about anymore. Fuck! He cares about betrayal. I know that. I can't look at the court record right now. What is the funny radio said several times? He hates betrayal. I know that. He met against himself specifically, and he can't see evidence. I guess that's true. We did it! Yay! Woo woo! Yippee! That is all. The court is adjourned. And just like that, the case was over. I ran away from the courtroom and wandered the streets alone. I never saw Maya again. The killer is a man of his words, so I'm sure he released her as promised. They're making me watch a bad ending. I heard the verdict of Miss Andrews' trial a few days later. She was found guilty. You got the only split path in the entire series. The miracle never happened. Maybe it was never meant to, because a miracle is something that doesn't exist. The end. Get the bad ending is the achievement that I just got. Load, please. I need to do a random guess again. This shit is so ass. My brain! You're so stupid. I can't remember nothing. Just because stuff falls out of my brain like sand through a fucking hourglass doesn't mean I'm stupid. I can't remember nothing. Okay, who would I like to show evidence to? Idiot cat. Fuck! These are the days of your life. I just got here, I don't know what's happening. I will give you a hint if you want one. I don't want to watch that cutscene again. He hates betrayal against himself. Article gossip led to killer. Okay. Fucking dummy head got the bad ending. There's like 24 different options. I have to pick 2 of them in the correct order. Always leaves a Shelly card. Andrew's mentor. Rivals of the Java Ninja. Blah, 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 blah. You got the killer correct. I mean, that's what I figured. He specifically said when he revealed his true personality that would make the killer hate him instantly. Well, he says a lot of things that would make anyone hate anyone instantly. Me too. The bear with love, Celeste. Bought the stuffed hare. This is evidence. Yeah, of course it is. Changes the footage. Running at the time of the murder. Oh, it's because is it because he recorded him taking... Is it because he recorded him killing him? What did we just get? One of these? Is it just a videotape of him doing the killing? Like, is that it? Like, what? I mean, one of the buttons is missing. Like, is it literally just that he recorded him killing someone? Is that it? Because that doesn't mean anything to me. Like, he knows that he was recording it because we presented that evidence and we talked to him about it. And he tried to get it back, so like, either he hired... Have you? I thought we did. I don't know. I don't know nothing. Clearly. He cannot see evidence. I know he can't see evidence. He's a radio. You showed him nothing. Well, he heard us talking. Is he stupid? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I think there is some merit to showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. Alright, it looks like I managed to convince him. Are you stupid? He would have to be unbelievably stupid to somehow not, like, his radio isn't always on. I guess. Did he full on... You talked about it before he was here. Did he seriously not watch this videotape? Like for realsies? Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? I'm trying to do it, but the judge keeps only giving me one chance to do things. Halbe is currently trying to balance volumes of free rent on my desk. Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. Halbe is just like giving me a massage right now. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. Could she beat you with the issue instead? Everyone making fun of me. I know. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client to not watch it. Okay, well, there we go. You needed some kindness, I'll say. So I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape. Me? Like, he leaves a calling card telling people... Oh no, because it shows what he looks like. That's why. That's what I fucking missed. It's not because it shows him killing someone, it's because it's a videotape proving what he looks like. Okay. There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted a camera? Well, the only person who could have placed the camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. And Matt specifically said he recorded it to blackmail him. He did say that, huh? I literally would have never remembered that. Like, if I played this game in one shot, I absolutely would have remembered that. But that was, like, a week ago. And it was, like, one of the first things that happened. If I remember correctly. No, it was towards the end. But it was a one-off line that happened a week ago. I don't believe you, actually. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I can't believe how much this is ending bad. This is ending perfectly. What are you talking about? We're winning right now. Are you not paying attention? Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I wish I had just gone to sleep. Well, that's sad. I'm sad now. I would like to know why. Why did Matt on guard film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted blackmail on you. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone. Least of all, assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay, and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. I love your fucking voice for him so much. I know, I personally was proud of just keeping his voice when he's evil. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the Killer? The oil sweat blobs are so gross. Oh! It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. AI might actually be gas. There's videos of people exploding Fumos, but they're okay. It's just a technology trick. Fucking algorithmically generating a video of Reimu's Fumo fucking blowing up. Because I wouldn't dare do it to my own, because those things are ludicrously expensive. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes? You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? I would kill them. That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the Killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. You were the one who presented evidence specifically to get this result. How are you surprised? Mr. Wright. Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? I'm not an item! Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I am sort of... I don't quite know what just happened there with the Ah! Get that girl a burger stat. Honestly, I'm always saying this. Miss Von Karma, where did that... She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Mr. On Guard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I'd like to make one final statement. That is kind of clever, that it was like, these are the two options, and it turns out they were the same fucking option. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please. Is this all right with you, Mr. Wright? We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Yeah, but Adrian will still be, like... convicted of murder, so we can't have that. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. Matt on guard. Even though I am a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me? My wonderful self? Guilty? Even if you got an acquittal, the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it, you can't run away from your crime anymore. His freak-out sprite is real. Oh, fuck! He really fucked himself up. As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth. Face for radio. Real. I don't remember you helping out much in this. You remember, Phoenix? He pointed out a contradiction that you chose not to point out because you thought it would help, and then he got mad at you for trying to take the reins. Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt on guard? I have left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full-course meal of whip leather right about now. Hydrate moment. Very good. I got him not guilty to condemn him to death. Well, I got him guilty in order to make sure that Adrian didn't go to jail. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She doesn't either way. I mean, I guess that's fair, but now she doesn't even have to go to court because she's not suspected of the crime any longer. Which would have been my fault anyways, so I'm not cool with it. She must be talking about that time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. Wrong she does. She does what? Huh? I mean, I guess she would go to crime scene tampering. I mean, she's still going to go to... I guess she will go to court for that, but she won't be, you know, investigated for murder any longer, which I feel is better, because she can just admit to all those crimes immediately without having to go through a long court process. Remember what Edgeworth told her? He doesn't care if she kills herself? Oh, I remember that! But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. It looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about, but everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that's good enough for me. That's all. This court is adjourned. She's your favorite witness, but like overall maybe my 5th favorite character. Yeah. You were great out there, Phoenix, except for all those times you fucked up and the time you got the bad ending. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time, but you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. The reverse Edgeworth arc? I mean, it's the same as the Edgeworth arc. Edgeworth was obsessed with getting a guilty verdict, and Phoenix was obsessed with getting a not guilty verdict. Like, one of them is obviously better, but, you know, it's the same kind of stance. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. Is he guilty, or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then, and your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Right! I think it's really cool because it's like a meta thing about the character. Yeah. Do you just care about winning the game, or do you care about doing it right? Edgeworth, I have good news. Maya's now safe in police custody. Really? You're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, she is quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car. Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya's safe! You did it! You really did it, Mr. Nick! Ow! She punches deceptively hard for a kid. I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her. Thanks? Oh. What's wrong? Miss Von Karma. About earlier. Thanks. Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost! Your perfect win record has now been crushed! And yet, you are still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma. You'll never grow or change. Francisca, frankly, just to be clear, you're never gonna grow or change as a person. You're gonna remain the same forever. How dare you! This is why she needs her own game, Capcom. Thank you! Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was just like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth? For my own personal victories, and for guilty verdicts. She's also just 18. I know, it's insane that Phoenix is just like, you will never learn or change. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remains spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then... updated autopsy report. It was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. This gun sucks. Every time I see it, I'm astounded at how bad it sucks. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened. So I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. Shut the fuck up. The Deagle Luger is so cool. They couldn't figure out what kind of gun it is. It just shoots fucking like... just like dowels at them. As well you should have. A prosecutor has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. It shoots iron balls. It's a fucking modern flintlock. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense! We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so, Phoenix would slap me across the face. No matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And he would reload saves over and over again when he couldn't figure out what the logic the game was using. He tried to follow his own logic, and that cost him greatly many times, but he never gave up. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. What? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you. The truth? Yes. That's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, right? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory. who ran away into the night. Ah, is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick? You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me all those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself. You pathetic fool! Miss Von Karma? I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over. We are so fucking over. We're never coming back. Franziska threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else. Ah, isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip? I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this, right? Okay. Nick! Maya! Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! Yay! Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got on guard convicted, like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me. Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing there. Whatever, whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly. Is it really that easy to do something like that? Thanks a lot, Nick. Don't mention it. Maya. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm relieved you're all right. Hey, it looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago. The burger hunger has taken her. I'm very familiar with this. All right, I think it's time we got out of this depressing place. Huh? Where are we going? Food, Nick! Food! Grub! Chow! I'm starved! I'm so hungry, even you look like a nice, juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick. You think I look like a burger? I'm prime rib at least. Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please. If you insist. Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided that we have to make it up by having another feast. Another feast? Come on, Nick! Food! I hope Edgeworth is footing the bill, because this is going to be so expensive. March 23rd, 7:38 p.m. Gatewater Hotel. Hotel lobby. Hey, pal. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Gumshoe, are you alright? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things. He didn't even hit a car. He ran a red light and then hit a telephone pole somehow. I heard that as gay water. Also true. A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him? You did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me. And I ain't joking. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai. Thanks. Now looky here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bullied Mr. Rat too hard? And if you don't start being nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight, even. The joke for end of every game is Phoenix gets stuck with it and goes bankrupt. Yeah. I'll keep that in mind. Well, come on now. Everyone gather around. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer. Lotta, you have to take it out of the case first. Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera. Where did that camera end up? Well, pal, at least we could put this messy case behind us now. Like some random person just stole it. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal. Amen to that, pal. Amen. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, detective. Huh? Me? You really think so? I sold her own camera for twice its worth. Well, that's fair, because she bought it for half. He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending. Well, you know, it's... Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. What? 4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There's a 4th item? Oh, come on, y'all, it's over. Boy, I tell ya, you really are something else. I guess I can't check his coat. Otherwise, I definitely would have. Maybe it's the button. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never a dull moment with you, huh? You think? Why does she look so happy about that? But being shut away for 2 whole... It was only 2 days. I mean, I guess without water she'd be fucked, but she was fine without food. It was a cool assassin knife. Weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So, to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, gal. So where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. It's just like Saturn devouring his son, but like on the killer's wall. You know, I don't know where it went. Aw, that's too bad. I mean, it's probably in Gumshoe's coat pocket. Like, that's probably what it was. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway. Ah. It sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up. Ah, that's Miss Von Karma's receiver! Ugh, thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location. Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do. Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet. And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. It was Franzi? I mean, probably. I figured... Well, somebody still has Gumshoe's coat, I'm sure. It might be Francisca, if she's undercover. I had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me... Wait. What? I just want to say... Thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. Do I give him the lawyer badge? I feel like I give him the lawyer badge. Oh, I also have the whip. Is it just the whip? Because I just got that. Whip him. I don't want to whip him. Do I give him the whip? It's either the whip or the lawyer badge, I feel like. Do it? Okay. What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job. It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mystic Maya. Yes, Pearly? I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean. There are people that actually ship Maya and Nick, which is, like, fucking crazy to me. Pearly, would you cut that out already? You're embarrassing me. Anyway, so who's paying for this lovely dinner party? Well, it was gonna be Edgeworth, but he escaped already. As if you need to ask, everyone say thank you to Nick. Huh? Yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kinda already put your name on the bill. Huh? Huh? Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, see? There's a camera store in the hotel? And I just bought this myself, this good old beauty here. It better be anyhow for $3,000. That's more than twice as much as her last camera. Actually, I reckon you bought it for me, since it's on your tab and all. Huh? 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 Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? I mean, I knew it would turn out this way. I was just trying to get Edgeworth to pay for it, because he's rich and all. Yeah, Nick. Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Aw, you don't need to hold back now, you hear? Yeah, pal. Time to let it all out. This is gonna be the first time I hear the real you. Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all. Alright then, if you say so. Objection. Hell yeah, baby! That was fucking Ace Attorney Justice for all. Oh, there's still stuff. You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've just escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro. The post-credit scenes, of course. How could I have forgotten? I'm so happy that you could save Mystic Maya, Mr. Nick. And I'm so happy for the 2 of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners. So I sort of made reservations for the 2 of you, just in case. That's fucking crazy. Why did they let this child make honeymoon reservations at this hotel? Well, pal, looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my sake. I heard he said things like, letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it. Crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal. I, Maggie Bird, am retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm gonna be a waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by the restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright. Foreshadowing. She hates being a cop. Rightfully so. She's free now. Oh, yes. Are you here to visit a patient? I'm Dr. Hottie. Oh, recently, yes. That girl, you know, I haven't seen her around. Yes. But I remember, if I even laid so much of an eye on her, I would go, crack! It doesn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes. Kill this man? God, I would love to. I would truly, truly love to. It's time to begin our quest of the world circus domination, sweetie. And to let the world know we are serious, I plan to make a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe. Hey, Max, what do you think Zimbabwe's like? Do you think there are castles made of cake? And bunnies who can talk? I think if there are any talking bunnies, even they wouldn't laugh at Moe's jokes. That's your boss, you know. Fuckhead. Catching strays. I'm ready! I'm ready! There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears! I'm gonna be more contemporary with my humor! Mo Curls, represent! We got our new act all worked out. Prepare for the Hallelujah chorus. Say something, will ya? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it. Represent. What's this? Drat, it's just an ordinary electric razor recharging on its stand. I can't believe this. Really? How long do they plan on making me do— Oh, we just left Old Bag doing this. But it's Edgy Poo's idea, so it means it must have a deep hidden meaning. But, when do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they? It was never like this in my old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me Queen Wendy and treat me like royalty, and any man who hadn't heard that— She's just shooting the walls now. She's shooting at the walls. I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edgeworth did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone. Francisca gets an assistant. Yuri. It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you'd like to request my services, please be sure to visit my home page. May we both be blessed with longevity. Oh, there it goes. Self-destruct. He has a website now, apparently. What a contemporary murderer. Good for him. Hiring Dick Hiller as we speak. March 23rd, 9:42 p.m. International departures, gate 12. Where are you going, Francisca? How did you know I was here? With this. That's... I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran off with the things from Dick Hiller's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. 4 things? It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here? It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now? That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up. You don't understand a thing. Hi, Leggett. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter. Francisca. So many expectations. From everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what. And failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius. There's no doubt about that. But me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor, and you have been and always will be. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? Nope. I'm gonna say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, Finally, my chance to take revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. Is it buffering? That's so fucked. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews? You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics. Isn't that right? Today, you chased after me after I had left you behind all those years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma. I am Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm gonna walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you'd better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. And there she goes. Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. No, that was Franziska saying that. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again. The hemer? Of course she was heming. Oh, it's the thing that Maya drew. She made the shell into Nick. That's so fun. Clear episode 4 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. There we go, baby. That's the second game done. From here until we finish it, we will be switching to Fear Fridays. We're going to be playing that shooter game called Fear. Nikki DeLawyer. Yeah, exactly. Alright. I'm going to find somebody to raid. We're going to raid Ichi. Because Ichi is playing something called Little Goody Two Shoes, but has tagged it with something like committing Yuri on a blank. And you know what? I'm never going to pass up the opportunity for Yuri. I will see you all on Sunday. We're going to start playing Castlevania Rondo of Blood, which I hope doesn't whip my ass too fucking hard. If it does, I'll probably have to change, just so I can, you know, play something. But I will see you all on Sunday. I hope you enjoyed the stream, because I know I did, despite the difficulties towards the end. We will be getting back to the third game once October has passed and we're moving on from spooky streams. But until then, I hope you enjoy my spooky streams in the meantime. Have an excellent weekend, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.